Hey, welcome back. Woodley here. It's a balmy 32 degrees with a slight wind today, and I'm working on siding, and it's had a few challenges. Let me show you what's going on. First of all, there is my car, and the car didn't make it up quite all the way today. Our snow blower and tractor are still at the service shop. I had to get new rims on the wheels, and they were supposed to be in this week, but they haven't come in yet, which isn't the biggest issue. But sometimes you go as far as you can, and then you walk the rest of the way. So recognizing that this is, kind of a problem, not being able to get up here right now, and needing to be able to do that is part of what we've been considering is getting a truck with four-wheel drive. And so we found a very inexpensive four-wheel drive truck that we picked up yesterday, and only to discover that there's something funky going on with the transmission. So I was hoping that I would have been able to drive up here today with the truck, but I think it's best that I get this transmission looked at. The person swears that they hadn't had any issues with it beforehand. Whether or not that's the case, who knows? But that's where that issue stands right now. So I'm up here and taking advantage of the day to get some work done on the siding. My approach to siding has been to take it slow and take your time to get it right. So what I worked on here for a little bit was just getting this starter strip and making sure that the lines over on this side match up with the lines over here uh, on as it comes around the corner. And I got a couple pieces over there. I put them on just to test it once I got it there. And that's going to match up very nicely. When I first put that starter strip on, I had to drop it down a quarter of an inch. I was just a quarter of an inch too high, but that will work out. But what I'm working on now, and just kind of thinking through, and just to show you these process here is with the step foundation, you have to have some unconventional um, scenarios. So what we're going to do, this is called J channel, if you're not familiar, and you need a termination point for your siding. So over here on this step, we're going to put this J channel, which is going to come up. That siding will go into it. Now, here's where things start to get a little more kind of interesting in what I'm trying to make sure that I get right at this step is how the J channel on this vertical piece is going to integrate with a J channel that I'm going to have to turn horizontally along here. And J channel is used horizontally with sometimes you have to cut a piece in order for it to in order for the bottom of the piece, so you don't have the starter strip to attach it to, so you can terminate it into that J channel. Let me set this on the tripod and try to talk you through how I'm thinking of it. The pieces that we have for siding are double 4-inch pieces. And that means that as we come up this side here, my last double piece here is just under 24 inches. And then I get up to about 31 and a half for my what I realized is I didn't, for this piece here, right, so I just caught something that I had missed in my first install, which is going to add a bunch of extra work to me, but in some ways I'm glad I caught it, because I realized just here now that for this piece, I didn't lock it up in all the way. And I can feel the difference between that connection and my other connections up here, which are a lot tighter. And on this one here, I didn't lock it in. So I was going up and I'm doing the math, looking at these as double 8 inches. So the first one hits right about 8, just under 16, just under 24. And then all of a sudden I get here and I'm almost a half an inch under. And I'm thinking, what has happened? Well, what happened is I didn't push this one all the way up. And so what I'm going to do is see if I can pull these ones off and get this connected back in. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the one we've got on our window too much, because that one was kind of tricky to get in. So let's see if we can make that happen. I ended up ripping it all the way off back down to this spot, because when I went to go put those in, I couldn't really raise it up and get any more, kind of meaningful. The nail hole that I put in was in that same spot. And when I'm looking at this now, if I pull this up good, we can get that, show you the difference. Come up here, and now when I get to there, it allows us to come up about kind of a quarter of an inch, a little over a quarter of an inch, which, may not seem like a lot, and maybe in the grand scheme of things it isn't, but this is a big side, and if you go and take a quarter of an inch over the course of a whole side, that translates into quite a bit of difference of where that looks out to. So seemed like the right thing to do. that I've fixed that problem, back to the J channel question. So what I'm seeing here is that our full panel comes in at, well, it's just a quarter of an inch, or a little less than a quarter of an inch from 32. Now over here, if I measure off the bottom of the starter, which is approximately where we're going to be, then my 32-inch mark, so this isn't exactly precise, but it's pretty close, is going to happen here. So just a little under that. Now, the issue that we're running into in relationship to that is this is a good maybe 2 inches above where this bottom piece is, and we want this to be covered with our siding, but we have a new row that needs to happen here. And so I think that what's going to end up happening with this is that we will likely take the J channel along here for this to terminate, and then I need to figure out where that J channel has to turn so I can figure out where to cut this. And what we'll end up doing is we'll put the other J channel along here, and this J channel along this side. That one piece, when we get to this level, we'll do an extra long one, and we'll cut the bottom of it off so it just extends right along here and terminates into this, and then the next starter will go up for it. If you're doing that with J channel, what J channel doesn't have, because it tends to be used more vertically, is it doesn't have any drainage holes in it. So you certainly don't want just a water collection point down here at the bottom. So you need to drill some holes in here for this. But the sun's going down and my fingers are getting cold, and so I'm going to work on the details of this next time. So be sure to check that one out. Let's see if we can get it right.